football right here on a Friday TGIF edition of the show, number one form for Bama football news, notes, information, in my own words. Yours truly, Stephen Smith of Touchdown Alabama Magazine. Happy to have you all in here on this evening. We got a bombshell of a show. A lot to get into, a lot to discuss here. As always, we bring you the show from the Magic City of Birmingham. We stream this to you through YouTube. And speaking of the channel, you go ahead, stop what you're doing right now. Tap that subscribe button. Hit subscribe right now. Get every friend, family member, diehard Bama fan, casual Bama fan, consumer of Tide football to subscribe as well. Because if you're feeling what's going on, they will as well. Don't forget to hit that like button too. Give us that thumbs up, tap that like button, show us that support right there. Trying to get the show 50 likes out the gate to start it. Share the show as well to everybody that you know on every platform that you have. Also tap the notification bell so that way you miss nothing when it comes down to your Crimson Tide football coverage. That daily Super Chat go $100 daily. Super Chat go right there, $100. Gotta give my man Bill from New York some love. Getting us started with that $5 donation. Dropping the love in the bucket right there. Appreciate that from Bill from New York. But I want to hear from you guys tonight, the Bama Nation. You can do this by calling 205-448-1358, the number 2. Call in and let your voice be heard, 205-448-1358. One more time, 205-448-1358. That is the number. It's on screen right there. But without further ado, Eli, we jump to topic number one of the conversation. So many people have been asking the question, what's the news on Jeremy Pruitt? Got an update on Jeremy Pruitt. What's happening with Coach Pruitt? Well, today we got it. We got the update. We got the news. Not what the people wanted. Not what we as Alabama football consumers would have liked to have seen. But the news came out today from the NCAA and Tennessee, the University of Tennessee, during Pruitt's 3 years as a head coach, 2018 through 2020. It was over 200 infractions by the according to the NCAA. 200 violations, more than 200. A lot of these were geared toward recruiting and also direct payments to student athletes, to their families, to recruits, and things of that nature. And, more than those 200 violations happened under Pruitt's watch. Coach Pruitt has been hit with a 6-year show cause. The league dropped the hammer on Pruitt. They lowered the boom on him. They dropped the bomb on him. 6-year show cause for Pruitt. Now, the small flicker of hope in all of this, if this is to be pursued, small flicker of hope, I don't think Saban does this. I don't see Saban doing this because he's not one for distractions of any kind. But the small flicker of hope here, according to the NCAA, is if Pruitt were to be employed by a collegiate program, he still can be employed by somebody. Somebody can still hire him, but he would face a 100% full suspension in his first season. So while he could still be employed by somebody, anybody, in terms of the college football landscape, despite being hit with the 6-year show cause for the more than 200 infractions by or happening in the NCAA, Pruitt could still get hired by somebody who would just have to serve a 100% suspension in his first year of employment. So just to me, I don't see Saban really jumping out there. I don't see Saban really pursuing just due to not one for any type of distraction at all. I mean, if this became a situation where Pruitt was hit with nothing at all, or Pruitt was hit with the smallest thing, then maybe, possibly, probably, you may see Saban may jump out there and pursue something. But with this happening, a 6-year show cause for Pruitt, just something that I don't see Saban pretty much jumping into. And this hurts for Pruitt. It stings. It stings because if you remember this, when Pruitt left Alabama after the 2017 season as a defensive coordinator to take on a head coaching job, Pruitt was not Tennessee's first option. He was not. Remember, Tennessee, they wanted John Gruden first. And John Gruden played the Volunteers to get a bigger contract from the NFL. And then remember, after Gruden, Mike Gundy's name from Oklahoma State was thrown in there, and Oklahoma State played Tennessee. Remember, Greg Schiano's name was thrown in there, and he played the Volunteers. Pruitt was about the 5th or 6th name, and the Volunteers kind of backdoored their way into Pruitt. And a lot of people felt like, Jeremy, don't take the job, don't take the job, don't take the job, please don't take the job. But, he took the job. Took the job there. And, and there's 3 years there, 2018 to 2020, according to the NCAA, more than 200 infractions. And even though, Pruitt more than likely could be true about, hey, I didn't know what was going on. I didn't understand what's going on. You can't put all of that on me. We know how the league is. They're going to sit there and say, well, you're the head coach. You had to have known something. And that's kind of the bad part of it is they're going to always hit you with, you are the head coach. You are the guy overseeing this program. You are the guy handling all of these athletes, and all of this responsibility is under your control. So you knew something of what was going on. You knew something that was happening and was transpiring. So that, that's going to happen. So it stings, kind of ducks there, but Coach Pruitt hit with the 6-year show cause by the NCAA today. If he is to be employed by another program, he still can't be employed. He would have to face a 100% suspension in his first year of employment. But we're going to go to a break here, folks, on the show. Don't touch that dial. We're just getting started. Upon our return, we're going to go to our second topic here of conversation. But there's a question I have in the chat line. You as an Alabama fan, do you still feel like Alabama should pursue Pruitt even after what we found out today? Drop those comments in the chat. We'll get to some of those and the second topic of conversation after this.
Nine players have teamed up and released the Alabama Team Paper, which is a video yearbook they've put out for sale direct to fans. Now, for the first time, small dollar purchases from the fans can support the players as a group as well as a great cause, because $1 of every subscription payment is donated to the Boys and Girls Club of America. Be a 5-star fan base and support your team and a great cause with Team Paper. Check it out at teampaper.com/Alabama.
Remember the taste of Grandma's delicious sweets? Emily's Heirloom Pound Cakes brings back those precious memories with just one bite. Each cake made from scratch. They make the perfect dessert to share with family and friends for any occasion, and ordering is easy. Visit emily'sheirloompoundcakes.com. Click the online store and shop. Then pick up your fresh cake at the kitchen in downtown Homewood. Order yours online at emily'sheirloompoundcakes.com. Emily's Heirloom Pound Cakes, making memories from scratch.
All right, people, we're back and rocking and rolling to the action from the break. Hottest show on the streets. We got your Bama football news right here in my own words. Yours truly, Stephen Smith of TDA. Got my man Enoch Walker in the production studio. You guys continue tapping that subscribe button, hitting that like button. You're feeling the content right there, showing that support. We have a message board, Touchdown Alabama Magazine, touchdownalabama.com, the message board. If you're trying to be in that first group, first wave of fans to help us regrow and rebuild that message board, the link to that can be found in the chat line and in the description. So check out the message board right there. But Eli, we're going to jump into topic number 2 here of the conversation, that being, we're 50 days away from the Alabama football season. 50, I know, right? It's right there. I mean, next week, you look at SEC Football Media Days in Nashville. Eli, you and I will be there. Coach Saban will speak on Wednesday, the 19th. That's going to be fun. He will have Kool-Aid McKinstry, J.C. Latham, and Dallas Turner joining him. But Alabama, it was either yesterday or the day before, Eli, they put up a video on Twitter and Instagram for the 50-day countdown. You had voiceovers from Stephen A. Smith in there and Kirk Herbstreit. And the conversation was, people keep sleeping on Bama. They keep downing Bama. They keep doubting Bama. Watch the Crimson Tide in this upcoming season, really do its thing here in the fall. And we're all excited about it, and we're all pumped up about it and ready to see it take shape. But we here at TDA are doing our own 50-day countdown. Our outstanding producer, John Ivory, is starting this 50-day countdown here on our Twitter page, and he's using a player to represent each day from 50 down to 1 in these videos. And start us off here, player number 50 is Tim Smith, the senior defensive lineman, by the way, of Florida, former 5-star in the 2020 class. And Tim Smith reminding us that we are 50 days until the Crimson Tide football season. Now, the biggest question for Tim Smith is going to be, is this the year where he finally breaks out? Because here's a guy we've been waiting on for quite some time. 5-star when he came out of high school, Sebastian River High School in Florida, 2020 class. He assisted Alabama as a freshman to a college football playoff national championship. And after he did that, a lot of us, we thought, okay, years to come, Big 50 is going to be special. Years to come, Tim Smith is going to be something to deal with. Years to come, Tim Smith will be a force to be respected. And while he's done some good things, I mean, this past season, he did have, 20 tackles, a tackle for loss, and a sack. He did some good things, but we haven't seen the ultimate breakout year from Tim Smith. And that's kind of what we're waiting on for this young man at 6'4", 302 pounds. Like, where's the breakout coming? We saw him in high school, and this guy was doing it all. He was wrecking running backs. He was dropping quarterbacks for sacks. He was forcing fumbles. He was just complete explosion. Athleticism, getting into the backfield, creating havoc, wrecking shop, making play after play after play to where we're just like, who is this dude? Like, Alabama's got to get him, got to get him on campus, got to utilize him. He is going to be the next guy in the lineage of prolific defensive linemen for the University of Alabama program, and we just have not seen him quite yet put it all together. Can that come this fall? Needs to. Hope it does. It should. And the reason why it should is this is his final season. You look at the NFL draft, Colin. Could he put together a good draft stock? Could he put together a stock to where maybe he's not a first-round pick, but at least a good, valuable second-round guy, and then maybe, he goes to a Senior Bowl and does well, and goes to the Combine and does well, and then maybe can grow his stock even more, but needs a big season. Smith needs a big year for his NFL draft stock, especially with how highly regarded, highly touted, highly praised he was out of high school. Talent's there. Ability is there. Potential for him to do it is there from a defensive end perspective under position coach Freddie Roach. But T.M. Smith's got to get this done this season. Got to get this done this season. Came in highly recognized out of high school. We have not yet seen the breakout, full potential intensity that he can bring here to this defensive front. We're all crossing our fingers that he can get this done in the upcoming season. But he's number 50, starting off our countdown here to the Alabama football season. We're taking another break right here, folks. Don't touch that dial. When we get back, we can look to go to those phone lines to grab your calls, your thoughts, your conversations. We try to get to you, the fans, after this.
Every sports fan deserves the proper representation. Whitwell Sports introduces to you the Title Towel. Wave that Title Towel in the air like you just don't care in support of Nick Saban and the Alabama Crimson Tide. Only $9.99 and it lasts a lifetime. Head on over to whitwellsports.com and get your Title Towel today.
This is Chris Rogers, 2009 national champion. You are listening to the baddest, when I say the baddest, sports show in the state of Alabama. In my own words, you know, yours truly, Touchdown Alabama Magazine. Don't touch that dial.
Thank you for tuning in. Show your support right now by clicking that like button. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button now and enable all notifications to make sure you don't ever miss any of the best Alabama football news, notes, and information right here on Touchdown Alabama.
We're back into the action here, folks, from the break. Number one forum for Bama football news. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of TDA. And we're going to look at a couple of questions here, a couple of thoughts here in the chat line coming from you, the fans. A lot of this stemming from the first topic on one, Jeremy Pruitt, and the findings that were made known from the NCAA today. A lot of you are saying, well, Stephen, Alabama doesn't need Pruitt. Pruitt would be a nice luxury, but not a necessity. Alabama doesn't need Pruitt. You got Kevin Steele. You got the guys that you need here on this defense. Let's see what this group can do here 2023. Let Pruitt be him, but let's focus on the guys that Alabama's got on the roster, coaching staff, and player-wise right now. And I tend to agree with that. While Pruitt would have been a great luxury piece, he would have been a really good luxury piece. You have Kevin Steele on staff. You have Robert Bama on staff. You got Charlie Strong on staff. You got Ken Wisenhunt on staff. You got Clinton Dix on staff. You got enough guys, right? You got enough guys on staff to make this thing work. You got enough guys on staff to get that production done. You got enough guys on staff to push toward a national championship and try to win that in a year where, you know, much of the conversation has been about Georgia in the offseason. All right, so one guy in the chat line says, as long as Golding is gone, I am happy, LOL. So somebody's already saying, as long as Pete Golding is not in Tuscaloosa, they are happy about that. And a lot of Alabama fans would share that same sentiment. A lot of Alabama fans would share that same sentiment. Pete Golding's not here. The defense is better, should be better, with Pete Golding not in the fray. As long as Pete Golding not in the fray, Alabama defense will be absolutely fine. Another chat statement rolls in. Charlie Strong and Kevin Steele will be just fine. I agree with that. You're getting Charlie Strong back. You have him back. Charlie Strong was a big part as an analyst helping Alabama win a college football playoff national championship in 2020. So you have Charlie Strong back. You have Kevin Steele back. They're two OGs. They know the game. They've been around the SEC for a long, long time. You have Robert Bama, young, fiery, passionate, in your face, inside linebackers coach. That's good right there. You got, once again, Ken Wisenhunt. You got former players on staff like Clinton Dix in a player development role. So you got enough in terms of coaches. You have enough where personnel goes, and you have the right players, you have the right pieces, you have the right guys in pocket in place here. This is a good thing. This is a good thing. Pruitt would have been a nice luxury, but not a necessity. He would have been a great luxury piece, not a necessity for the Crimson Tide. As you guys are continuing to get your thoughts here in the chat line, as my man Eli is writing his fingers off here in the chat line, but I guess that was the last thought there in that line. But continue getting your thoughts in, writing them in, and what you are wanting to convey to us here on the show. Before we get to our call topic here, Eli, a redshirt freshman defensive back for Alabama posted something very interesting on Twitter today. That being one Jake Pope, 6'1", 192-pounder who hit Jermaine Burton hard in the spring game. Also finished with 10 tackles, a tackle for loss, and a sack. What did Jake Pope say? Jake Pope said on Twitter, "I will have my respect, or I will earn my respect soon enough." Something along those lines. Jake Pope is ready for this season. Jake Pope is prepared for this year. Already has a year in the system, knows how this system operates, knows how Nick Saban gets down. Now you add in Kevin Steele. Jake Pope, where is he going to be in this secondary in the upcoming fall? That's the young man I want to see get out in the field and really shake some stuff up and do some things. But our call topic for the evening goes to, could be a future Alabama star in the class of 2024, five-star quarterback by the way of Carlsbad, California, Jillian Sand. And so Jillian Sand, he got his photo taken on with NFL legend, New Orleans Saints legend, Drew Brees. Nice photo right there. Got Julian Sand with Drew Brees. Brees led the Saints to a Super Bowl in 2009. Drew Brees, definitely a future first ballot Hall of Famer. No question about that. But the accolades, the awards, the numbers that he was able to put up throughout his career, including getting the Saints to that Super Bowl in 2009, getting that photo in with one Jillian Sand, of whom some have compared to Bryce Young. I'm not going to be the one to make that comparison. It's going to be fun to watch Sand come in, should he sign on to the Crimson Tide, and show how special he is where this program is concerned. But really cool here seeing him in this picture with one Drew Brees. We'll take another break right here, folks. Don't touch that dial. When we get back, we wrap some things up. We tidy some things up with a discussion of what U.S. fans want to see differently about Coach Saban and the upcoming fall. We wrap it up with that after this.
I'm Malachi Moore. You're watching In My Own Words with Stephen M. Smith on Touchdown Alabama YouTube channel.
Thank you for tuning in. Show your support right now by clicking that like button. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button now and enable all notifications to make sure you don't ever miss any of the best Alabama football news, notes, and information right here on Touchdown Alabama.
All right, people. We appreciate you guys hanging out with us today in the chat line. Making this your show, your spot, your place to talk Bama football. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of TDA. My man Eli Walker in the production studio. Continue hitting the like button, tapping that subscribe button. Making this your show, your spot, your network, platform, channel, space to talk Bama football. We love that. Appreciate you guys. Daily Super Chat Go, $100. Daily Super Chat Go, $100 right there. DJ Webb with that $10 donation, dropping the love there in the bucket. Appreciate that coming from DJ Webb, helping us out there here on the show. For those of you trying to be in that next wave, next group of fans to help us regrow, rebuild the message board, the links to the message board can be found in the chat line and in the description. That's Touchdown Alabama Magazine, Touchdown Alabama Magazine, and touchdownalabama.com. We appreciate that right there. But, Elon, as much as Nick Saban has done with this Alabama program since he was hired in 2007, and Saban's done a lot for this program. You talk about 6 national championships, 8 Southeastern Conference titles, several guys that were All-Americans, several guys that got drafted into the NFL, several number 1 recruiting classes. Saban has done a lot for this program. But for you as fans out there, it's something that you guys want to see Saban do differently in 2023 to kind of, get the program back on top of things in college football. Get the program back number 1. Get the program back definitively the big bad program when you look at college football. And what you guys want to see Saban do is, and a lot of y'all have mentioned this on the show in the phone calls here recently, and that's really truly getting back to playing the best guys on the field. It doesn't matter what classification that guy is. It doesn't matter if he's a freshman, sophomore, junior, senior, transfer, grad assist. Doesn't matter. Play the best guy on the field at each position. The guy that's going to give you the hunger, the passion, the physicality, the toughness. He's going to give you his arm, his leg, his liver, his heart, half a brain. He's gonna give you everything. When he comes off the field, you're going to have to drag that guy off the field. Like, he's not going to want to come off the field unless he's on a stretcher. Getting back to playing those guys, the guys that flat out want it. You can see it in their eyes. You can see it in their face that they flat out want it, and live with some growing pains a little bit. Play with the guys that flat out want it, but live with some growing pains. I think this is something that you as Bama fans want Saban to get back to doing. Playing those flat out dogs on the field and live with a growing pain or two, knowing that the upside, the ceiling, is way better. The ceiling is way more profitable. The ceiling of these players is way more advantageous. So I feel like that's something that a lot of you as fans, you're craving, right? Because as much as, Coach Saban has been loyal to his juniors, his seniors, his older guys because, they know the system, and that's a good thing, and they have a locker room, and that's a good thing too, and they're well-respected, and you want to be well-respected. But at the same time, if you have a freshman and this freshman or this sophomore gives you way more than this junior or senior, then you got to play the freshman or the sophomore. If you know beyond a shadow of doubt, this freshman or this sophomore, they give you way more energy, they give you way more juice, they give you way more fire, they give you way more range to do what you want to do. If this freshman or this sophomore gives you way more than this junior or the senior, then you got to roll the dice from the young guy. You got to. I go back to, once again, everybody's favorite example, the 2017 season. Jalen Hurts, 26-2 as a starting quarterback. It was a sophomore year. Knew the system, knew the team, had the locker room, had everything. But there was just something different about Tua. You knew Tua gives you more from a passing perspective. Tua gives you more in opening up your offense. Tua gives you more and getting those receivers the ball and opening up those running lanes, those backs. Tua gives you more in terms of scaring the living daylights out of a defensive coordinator and an opposing defense. And once Bama put him on the field, sure enough, national championship game, hey, we all saw it. We all saw it. We all saw it. We can go back to 2019 in terms of, people look at other guys on the defensive line that were more veteran, that were more older, that had more experience. But you had to play Christian Barmore, though he was a young guy. Why? Barmore more thump. Barmore more mean. Barmore more nastiness. Barmore more physicality. Barmore, I'm hungry. I want it. I'm getting after it. I'm taking my food and your food. I'm eating my chicken and your chicken. And Bama fans was like, yo, why is he? I don't care the classification. Why is 58 not on the field more? That's the guy we need. That's the guy Alabama football needs on this field pronto. Put him out there. Put him out there. Put him on the field. Let this guy work. What we need out here. Alabama football needs out here. So we've seen Saban do this before in small doses. We've seen him do this before in small doses. But this season, you as Bama Nation want to see him when he knows, hey, this particular player gives me way more upside. This particular player gives me way more ability. This particular player gives me way more range. I can do a whole lot more with this player versus this veteran player. Even though the veteran may have more experience, even though the veteran may have more leadership, this young guy, with him out here, I get more. I feel like that moving forward is what Alabama fans want to see from Coach Saban, and I feel like if Coach Saban is able to do this, it goes a long way in this team getting back to the CFP and winning it all, because you got to keep guys fresh. You got to keep guys rotated. You got to keep guys on their toes. And you got to get back to nobody's spot is just given. Everybody's got to sort of earn their keep. Nobody's spot is given. Nobody's spot is given. And that's what you've had the best Alabama teams, where everybody was on their toes because they knew if I'm not on my toes, a guy is going to come right behind me and take the spot from me. And I got to sit here and try to earn it back, or I got to sit here and deal with being a backup. And I got to sit here and deal with being a backup. But something that the Bama Nation wants to see from Coach Saban in this upcoming season. But as always, Bama fans, you want the best in news, notes, information, coverage here on your favorite program, that being the Touchdown Alabama magazine app. You download the app from the iPhone App Store if you're rocking Team Apple, Google Play Store if you got the Android phone for your audio needs. Check us out, iTunes or Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Spreaker, TuneIn Radio, Overcast.fm, or iHeartRadio. We got you covered right there. Good and gracious Lord sees fit. I'll try to be back on Monday, continuing the conversation. It's Bama football. Remember, Tide fans, you can purchase individual copies of Touchdown Alabama magazine. Have those hit to your door. That link found in the description. If you're trying to get your hands on the fresh edition, print edition of TDA the magazine, here's what you do. You go to touchdownalabama.com. You click join, become a member and or a subscriber today. That link in the description as well. So, folks, gotta shout out you guys, the outstanding fans of Bama football, all the love, all the YouTube chatting, all the donations. Appreciate all of you making this your show, your spot, your place to talk Bama football. Gotta show some love to my man Eli Walk in the production studio, handling the thing there behind the scenes. And till next time, folks, how about it? Husbands, love your wives. Wives appreciate, value those husbands. Children continue doing the right thing, fun thing, smart thing, good thing, legitimate thing too. Not be bored as the weekend is in session. Get you those 3 hearty meals a day, those 3 great laughs a day. You protect yourself. You protect the loved ones around you. Till next time, folks, I'm your man, Stephen M. Smith. You've been listening to In My Own Words.